Alright, hey guys, so I'm a few days late to make this video, but there's been a lot of interesting things happening on Humble Bundle, and I just thought I'd go through them and share my thoughts. First of all, there's been a new bundle, the Humble Jumbo Bundle number 10, so that's pretty cool. Before I get into that, I will mention that the Humble Monthly for November unlocks tomorrow, so this is your last chance to subscribe to the Humble Monthly if you haven't already. This month's Humble Monthly includes Quake Champions, the Elder Scrolls Online, and the Elder Scrolls Legends. Just keep in mind that Quake Champions and the Elder Scrolls Legends are free-to-play games. I don't think Quake Champions is free-to-play yet, but it will be in the future. So the main game is just the Elder Scrolls Online, which is still a really good deal if you're looking for a MMO to play. There should be like 5 or 6, maybe even 7 other games released in the monthly. If you guys were curious about previous months, they're all shown here on this page, so you can see what type of games you're going to get, and there's a bunch of different ones from all the previous months. But yeah, if you're not familiar with the Humble Monthly, it's $12 a month to subscribe, and normally you get some better than average Steam games that haven't been bundled before in the past. So yeah, it's a good little subscription service. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, you can use my referral link in the description below, and it'll help me out a little bit. So going on to the Humble Jumbo Bundle number 10. For $1, you can get Grey Goo Definitive Edition, Epistory, and Oddworld New and Tasty. So I have played through Grey Goo and Epistory. Grey Goo is a really fun real-time strategy game. It's very similar to Command & Conquer. I guess you could say it's kind of similar to StarCraft in some sense. I'm just going to go to the Steam store so I can show you some of the gameplay, because the trailers don't really show too much gameplay. But yeah, as you can see, you build up a little base, you build up some units, and you go to battle. It has a pretty interesting story, and it's a lot of fun. It has a full-on campaign. It's like 8 or 9 hours, I believe. I played through the entire thing. It's great. If you're into real-time strategy games, I encourage you guys to pick this up. I will mention, though, the name Grey Goo is a really stupid name. And if they would have chosen any other name, I think it would have sold far greater in number. So anyways, the next game, Epistory Typing Chronicles. This is I guess you would call it a puzzle adventure game with typing, or a typing game. I don't know. You're basically this girl on a fox, if I remember, and you go around and you type in various words and you do various puzzles. So you type in like AIM to destroy little creatures. It's a fun little game. I wouldn't say it's that challenging. It's actually fairly easy, especially if you are experienced in typing. If you're a beginner typing on a keyboard, this might be a great game to learn how to type a little bit faster. But beyond that, it's a very charming game. The graphics are great, and yeah, it's pretty fun. The puzzles are pretty interesting. So the next game, Oddworld. I've never played any of the Oddworld games, so I don't know a whole lot about this, but apparently it's a side-scrolling puzzle game. Looks like it has some pretty good graphics. The main character just looks so strange, at least in my opinion, but yeah, it looks fun, and I know Oddworld has a pretty big fan following. I think this game has 90% positive reviews, so that definitely says something. So scrolling down, the Beat the Average tier includes Prototype 2, Kingdom New Lands, How to Survive 2, and in 5 days there should be at least 2 other games. Normally when there's like a mystery tier, normally it means there's 2 extra games added to the tier. Sometimes it's more, but generally it's 2 extra games, and generally speaking the 2 extra games are not as great as the others, so just keep that in mind. You could wait 5 days, wait for the other games to come out, and then make your decision. But Prototype 2, that's a big one. This came out like quite a few years ago, but I played the beginning of it, and it's really fun. Basically, it's like a superhero game. I think you're like a guy who was like infected by the government or something, and you have all sort of like mutant powers, and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's very action-packed, it's very dark, very gruesome, and it's a whole lot of fun, especially if you're looking for something with like a lot of action. You're basically fighting the cops for the most part in the military. So yeah, Prototype 2. Oh yeah, I remember you can pick up cars and throw them at the enemies. But yeah, pretty awesome game. I think that was a AAA game when it came out. I know a lot of people really enjoy the Prototype series. Kingdom New Lands. I'm not too familiar with Kingdom New Lands. I do remember when it came out and it looked very interesting, and I put it on my wish list. But basically, this is a game where it's a side-scrolling game, but you build up a little village, and then I think you defend the village against various like monsters. So let me just scroll forward. So there's like a horde of monsters, and you can see all the villagers are like shooting arrows and stuff at the monsters. Looks like it's a pretty fun game. It's kind of like a tower defense type deal. Or at least that's what it looks like. I could be wrong there. How to Survive 2. This is a top-down zombie survival game. This trailer doesn't really show the gameplay, so I'm just gonna go to the Steam store. So that's what it's like. It's a co-op, like top-down zombie survival game. Lots of zombies, lots of weapons, things to craft, and it's a pretty enjoyable experience if you play it with a friend. If you play it alone, it is kind of boring, at least in my opinion. I played the first How to Survive. I haven't played the second one, but the first one was kind of boring playing alone, so there's that. So yeah, that looks good. How to Survive 2, and going back, I think that's all for the second tier. Yep. And there's one more tier, and it includes Wasteland 2 Director's Cut, and you also get $2 of Humble Wallet store credit. So with this store credit, you can actually purchase a low-end game on the Humble store, or you can use it to purchase something a little bit bigger. So it's pretty nice of them to give a $2 store credit, especially since this third tier is only $10. But Wasteland 2 was included in a Humble Monthly quite a few months back, so just keep that in mind. It was bundled before, but Wasteland 2 is a turn-based strategy game. It reminds me a lot of XCOM, if you guys have played XCOM or XCOM 2. Really fun games. I haven't played Wasteland 2, but from what I've heard, it's very enjoyable. Looks like it has 82% positive. I heard that this game has like 50 hours of content, so if that says anything, if you enjoy the game, you're gonna get your money's worth. So yeah, it looks really fun, at least in my opinion. But you really have to enjoy like the turn-based strategy game like genre. So yeah, let's go back, and that's pretty much it. You also get the soundtrack for Wasteland 2, which is cool. So yeah, that's everything in the Humble Jumbo bundle. There's one more thing I wanted to show you guys. There was a sort of like a hidden bundle released a couple days ago. This is the Humble Extra Life bundle. Play games, heal kids. I guess that's a charity, if I'm not mistaken. But this includes some Steam games as well. So for $1, you get Majesty Gold, Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, and Majesty 2. And you also get... Wait, no, you don't. Okay. So those are the only 3 games. So there's 3 games in the $1 tier that you get on Steam. The rest are not on Steam, and I'm not too familiar with Pathfinder. But if you guys are familiar with that, you might enjoy Pathfinder. Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 looked interesting. People say it's not as good as the first championship game. So yeah, if you're into Pac-Man, you might enjoy this game. This game looks interesting. I don't really know what the rest are. Looks like some older games. Yeah, these are super old games. So for the $1 tier, you're mainly getting Pac-Man if you're just wanting the Steam games. The second tier includes Leviathan Warships, Kingsway, and Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition. So you get 3 games here as well for the second tier, and also a bunch of Pathfinder stuff. So yeah, Guacamelee Super Turbo blah blah blah. It's a good game. I played a little bit of it a long time ago, but it's a very like action-packed game. Action-packed arcade game. It's like an action platformer, that's what I'm trying to say. Couldn't think of the word. So yeah, that's a good one. Not really sure what Kingsway is. It's an RPG where you use a mock operating system to manage your own adventure. Okay, I don't really know what this is. Some sort of like game building simulator. And then there's Leviathan Warships. Not really sure what this is either. Looks like it has a co-op campaign. So it's like a naval combat game. All right. So, and then there's one more tier, and it includes Rain World. So that's cool too. I think Rain World was also included in a recent Humble bundle. I could be mistaken on that, but I do remember seeing it. But this looks very good. Looks like a another action platformer with a interesting abstract little world universe. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. So that's the Extra Life bundle. There's not a whole lot here. I mean, $15 for Rain World, that's a little bit too expensive in my opinion. And even the Beat the Average tier, I think it's a little bit too expensive unless you really want Guacamelee or Kingsway. And then, I don't know, the $1 tier might be all right if you're just interested in Pac-Man. But I really don't know what all the rest of the stuff is, so you might have to research that yourself. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about Humble Bundle. Make sure you guys pick up the Humble Monthly if you're interested. I really don't know if this month's monthly is going to be good or not. Considering they have these expensive games in the early unlock, I'm going to assume that the games are not going to be as great, but you never really know with Humble Monthly, you just never know. And I did really enjoy Quake Champions, that was pretty fun. So yeah, that's I guess that's it. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.